It is the Riot podcast. I'm just going to start with a special shout out. 1 to Hudson. Thanks for covering for me. And 2 to Seth and Taylor from Denver, Colorado.
What they send?
Check this out, Nikki. Do you see what this is?
Is that a...
It's the book about Blockbuster. It's called Built to Fail.
And did you see what the bookmark is? It's a Blockbuster card.
It's from the Bend, Oregon store.
That's so cool.
So this is a Blockbuster membership card from the last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon.
I bet that book is interesting to read. Is that what the documentary is based off of, or do they not have anything to do with each other?
I don't know the answer to that.
No offense, but the Blockbuster documentary was kind of boring, but I bet you in book form to read those details actually would be more interesting.
It says here, written by Alan Payne, the man who built the longest lasting Blockbuster franchise chain in the country.
Cool.
So not Blockbuster corporate, but he owned a chain of that. Built to Fail is a cautionary tale for today's disruptive marketplace, explaining why Blockbuster was a broken company long before Netflix streamed a single movie.
Sure.
It's interesting.
Well, thank you for sending that.
I think I'm going to read that.
We're going to put it in the Riot library. We don't have one.
No, we don't. We have a little thing where we keep snacks, but not books.
That's about it. That's the only Riot library we have.
Not books. Today in the podcast, we talk about the small cups. Now, I realize that Hudson and Nikki already talked about the small cups, but it was my turn.
Obie's turn.
I had to have words. We talk about how to get a free $100, sinus pressure, China, and the PlayStation. Gym selfies. And I'm not talking about people named Jim taking selfies.
Nope.
The cost of hair care without remorse. My Friday night sleepover.
I can't wait to hear about your evening.
And Lady Gaga.
You should go to the store and people are like, oh, you're going to grab some beer or something? Be like, no, you just come out with all this soda.
Soda and Oreos and Doritos, bro.
Or are you going to get grenadine?
I hadn't even thought about it.
You're having an event,
an event.
And that's as far as we go.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know this event that you'll hear about? It came together last night at like 9:30.
Oh, so you haven't ironed out all the details?
No, it was a series of text messages that were like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Hey, blah, blah, blah. Well, blah, blah, blah. Well, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I think you need, because you're doing pizza, which you were planning on anyways, even if you didn't have a friend coming over.
Friend or no friend, the pizza's coming.
You need soda, you need grenadine, you need the Doritos that you always want but never get, and you need an ice cream or something for dessert.
No, didn't we find out the ice cream I was going to get had Listeria in it?
Well, I mean,
you can get
something else. Or what about, like half a sheet cake? Or a couple of pieces or something.
There's only 2 of them.
Well, not if you'd say that.
But,
just say you're having a get-together.
No. What you do is you get the half a sheet cake. You guys eat all you want. Then for your friends at RadioU, the leftovers on Monday.
Bring them there, and then that's the perfect thing.
All right. Okay. I like the way you think.
Just want you to treat it because we haven't had as many parties in previous years.
That is true.
Really do this one up. So that when your friend comes over, it's actually weird.
It's like,
because you've really gone all into it.
What's going on?
Like, why is there cake? Oh my gosh, with candles, and light them.
And I'll put his name on it. Welcome, Wes. Okay, no, do you know what?
Please do.
That actually,
it's perfect.
That I could do because
it'd be so awkward.
No, you'd have to know Wes. He'd lean into it so hard.
Yeah.
He's the person, he and I have very similar sense of humor.
Yeah.
And so he, like, for example, for my birthday last year, he got me a congratulations on your citizenship card.
See? There you go.
Which I thought was hysterical. I loved it.
You could make up like a, thanks for coming over, Wes. Thanks for coming over, Wes. Thanks for coming over, Wes.
And you know what, dude? He's the kind. I'm telling you, he'd put the hat on.
I know.
He'd pose for the picture. Like, he'd be all about it.
Well, I just want to make sure you have a fun enough night, so don't be afraid to go all in.
Well, I'll just tell you, I appreciate everything you just said, but I could also just tell him about this. We could laugh a little bit, and then we could just
play this for you. Me to email you this clip.
Yeah, I think that'll be fine.
Listen to what I was going to do, but I'm not.
But hey, I'm too lazy for it, so let's all have a laugh.
Well, enjoy the podcast today. There's lots of other goodies in there, including Jay Crum, our RadioU Fusion artist. We introduce you to him for the first time. You can check him out on our Fusion channel and on Saturday nights on RadioU. and at RadioU.com. Click on the music video sections for RadioU TV, and you'll see his music video for Monochrome Melancholy.
All right. Well, you guys have a great weekend.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
You almost missed hearing this one. We just couldn't let that happen. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thanks to Hudson for holding down the fort with Nikki. And thanks to Nikki for coming no matter who sits in here.
It's a pleasure.
It's just something that you do.
It's just something you do, exactly.
I did not listen to the podcast, though I should have. But I can't remember if I saw it in a podcast title or what, but I saw something about the little cups.
Oh, yeah. Have you not seen them yet?
No.
Have you seen them?
I did. I opened the cabinet and I was like,
oh, that's the tiny cups.
Those are the cups that they were talking about.
I think they're cute, but they are smaller than our normal coffee cup offerings.
Somebody somewhere found shot glasses with lids, and they were like, hey, guys, coffee, am I right?
Well, I feel like they are very small, but then I had mentioned with Hudson, like, I'll get coffee sometimes and then not drink it all, and then it just kind of goes to waste. So we used to do that when bands would come in. We provide refreshments for them, and then they would take like 2 sips of it. There, the little water bottles.
I'm holding up this baby water bottle we now have.
We used to have like big ones. They take 1 sip out of it, leave it, and then you just waste all the other liquid in it. So if you don't drink too much coffee, I think they're fine. But for you guys that drink all the coffee, they're very small.
All the coffee. I just look at it and I'm like, what? What?
I think someone ordered the wrong size. I think that's actually what happened.
That is, in reality, my great hope when I saw it. I was like, you know what? This is an online purchase. They don't understand how many ounces is what. And so it just happened.
Just a mistake, and it'll be fixed with the next order, I'm sure.
And it's fine. Like, it's totally fine. It happens. I get that. But, dude, when I opened the cabinet, I was like, oh.
That's them.
There they are. Okay.
But they are cute, and they're nice, and they have lids. They're just really small.
Well, I believe the coffee to be ready now, and I'll go in and grab some, and I'll let you know how it works out.
This is the worst of the riot podcast.
How to get you $100.
An extra 100, little spending cash.
Hundo.
What would you do for it?
What would you be willing to do? Now, there are not that many steps. You ready? 3 steps.
Okay.
1, move to West Virginia.
Well, now that is a bit more involved, I feel, but real estate is hot to sell. So if you have something to sell.
Well, I didn't say how easy it was going to be. It's 3 steps.
Sure.
Okay, so step 1, move to West Virginia.
If you are in West Virginia.
Okay. Step 2, get the COVID-19 vaccine.
Which one? Or just any?
Any of the 3 that you're interested in. And then you will receive a $100 savings bond.
Oh.
Wait. Step 3.
Step 3.
Wait as many years as you need to for the savings bond to mature. Boom. $100.
Now, I don't know if I've ever had one. What is a savings bond? Is it just put it like...
Well, a bond is
when you get it anytime you want, or do you let it mature?
Well, that's Monopoly, right?
No.
But a savings bond matures. No, that's a community chest card. So, no, what happens is a savings bond is you're actually lending money to the government.
Yeah.
At a certain interest rate, usually, I believe. And so you, let's say you buy a $50 bond, the government gets that money and you get a note. And then that note eventually, it's a 5-year bond or a 10-year or whatever. And then you go cash it in and you get more money back.
I want the $100 now. Not later.
Well, Nikki, I'm sorry. That's just indicative of the terrible shape our culture is in. We're a me first right now society.
And we want things immediately.
And a savings bond like you needs to mature a little bit.
Listen, I don't care about that, like future stuff. I just wanted the $100 right now. Like for the weekend. You know what? Not 10 years from now.
Well, I didn't say that it was going to be easy. I just said it was going to be a free $100.
Listen, now you're right. That's not a good attitude. I can take it as an Amazon gift card. So if they'd rather do that or DoorDash.
Well, you know what? No problem.
I'm not moving now.
You should. You can go. Listen, here's what you do. You can't drive into West Virginia. I think you have to go by pack mule, but you get down to the border and you climb on a mule, you go in. It's a 3-day journey to the center where you'll, meet the medical clinic and they'll get you started with your vaccine.
Also, what if you've already had your vaccine? Do they give you credit?
Actually, yep.
Okay.
They do. So if you, now I think that one might be just for West Virginia, like people that already live there. Yes, that's a good word. Residents. They
matured and residents. We're hitting all the big stuff.
Man, I'll tell you what. I love my favorite community-supported public radio.
And I appreciate you telling us about it. I don't know if that's right for all of us, but it's there. Or maybe we could say, look at what your local area is doing.
Well, just remember. That's your choice. I put it out there.
You're right. The vaccine is.
You're the one that said no to the $100 10 years from now.
I know. You could have had that $100 bond and you're just saying no to it.
That is your choice.
The riot isn't all bad, but this is the worst of the riot. RadioU.
Everybody relax. I got my thimble of coffee. I'm ready to face the day.
It's not that bad, but I think Chris said it's like 6 ounces, so it's a petite coffee cup that we now hear for our reusable cups here.
My head is already so big that when you put a cup this small next to my head, it's just like, am I getting bigger? Like, why is this coffee cup so small?
It's like
my hands.
It's awesome when you get like some clothing and it's baggy and you feel like, oh my gosh, we're losing weight, we're smaller. With this coffee cup though, it's makes you feel just huge. Well, we don't have to use them. There are the other cups in there. They just don't have lids.
Yeah, they don't have lids. Oh. Here, let me call Chris. Beep, boop, boop. Hey, Chris, is it cool that we have coffee in here without a lid? Boop, boop.
He's fine with it. If it's just off in the corner of the room on the floor that you don't walk near.
I'm fine with you having it in the room as long as it's not in the room.
Yes, see? Problem solved. No, you can just have it in the outliner areas. Because we have this big table, and so if you put it over there, you're fine. Or use the small one with the lid.
It's fine.
Maybe we have foil. You could put you can make your own little coffee lid.
Or my own cup.
Yeah.
With this foil, you can make as large a cup as you'd like.
That's going to spill. So I just know it.
It's not. It's fine. It's fine.
We're thankful and we're grateful. All right.
I am. Mm-hmm. At no point did I say I'm ungrateful for this. I was just.
You called it a thimble.
It is a thimble. I'm telling you right now, if your shirt ripped right now and you're like, I need help, I'd be like, hang on, let me get this thimble and I'll get my sewing set out. And I would I put it right there on my thumb and I would set to taking care of whatever, sewing needed done.
Oh,
I could put a sticker on this and sell it as the RadioU thimble.
The new thimble? For what? What do we need a thimble for?
For your gift of $40 a month.
Well, that was with the Riot Club.
Fundraiser. Yeah, but that's my thought is we had the t-shirt level, we had the Riot Club, but for $75 a month, we've got the all new RadioU thimble. So if something does happen to your shirt, you'll have what you need to fix it.
And if you don't use it as a thimble, you can use it as a decorative cup that you can put stuff in, and then that's where it's got the lid. So it's a real nice feature.
It's nice. Also available.
This brings back, we've mentioned this before, if this was an accidental order, whenever something accidentally happens, we just can't leave it alone, though.
That's right.
We have to mention it and we have to bring it up.
Well, I'll just tell you right now. I was like, am I in the bathroom? Am I going to get some mouthwash for this Dixie cup? Oh, wait. This is the all-new coffee cup.
So whoever ordered the reusable coffee cups for here at RadioU, thank you so much for doing that. We feel there appears to maybe be a mistake in the size of it, but it's fixable for the next order.
Riot Podcast RadioU.
I am so tired of waking up every morning with I don't know what to call it, a hangover, something. I mean, something lives right behind my eyes and pushes out on them.
Oh, your sinuses, sure. Are they still bothering you then this week? It's got to be allergies.
It's driving me crazy. So I decided to go ahead and pull up, two things. One, this map of my sinuses. I think it's the ethmoidal cells.
Are we self-diagnosing here?
Well, I'm trying to, honest to goodness, I'm trying to come up with a way to describe it because I'm just the thing behind your eyes. Yeah. I don't know.
And you feel pressure there?
It's okay. It's not so much pressure it is. Sometimes I have a headache, but it feels like it's pushing on my eyes. So I feel like in the morning I don't see as well.
Sure.
And when I look at my eyes in the mirror, they're bloodshot.
Yeah, that's possible.
And I'm like, what's wrong with you? What are you doing to yourself?
Now, it's not what's wrong with you. It's what's going on with you.
Okay. That's
See how
fine.
That's less negative?
You're right. It is. And so I decided to turn to my absolute favorite source for medical assistance.
Reddit.
Okay, that's my second favorite source. I just posted on Facebook and I was like, hey, here's what's going on with my sinuses. What are you guys doing?
Well, because you frequently will get more than the average person maybe, sinus infections or at least sinus pressure.
Well, and again, I actually think I might just go back and see the surgeon, the guy that did my nasal surgery.
Yeah.
How many years has it been? 3-4 years ago? I don't know. Because ever since then, it's different.
Yeah.
My sinuses were one way, now they're another way, and I'm just
don't see your normal doctor. You need to see that guy.
I'm going to the guy.
The specialist?
He does ear, nose, and throat.
Ooh, the ENT doctor.
Yeah. But then the other thing is, I feel like that's one of those, it almost feels like I'm going to take my car and go to the dealership, and they're going to be like, this car's nice, but what you should really do.
No, you need to, because if not, the normal doctor's not going to do anything.
I know. Well, I'll tell you what. 877-2-RADIO-U.
Here's the others.
Throw some suggestions at me. And I'll go through, we'll take a look. If you want to text it in, we'll do that. But then I've also got, Nikki, I'll throw out to you some of the suggestions from people.
Sure.
Some of you guys are over-medicated. I'm just going to tell you right now. I mean, what you're doing.
But do they have the sinus pressure?
Maybe not. But are they in touch with reality anymore? Well, we'll see.
Something to listen to when you meant to work out but tripped into a box of donuts. This is RadioU's Worst of the Riot.
So, yeah, I'm this sinus thing, it's driving me insane. So I turn to both 877-2-RADIO-U and Facebook for all my medical needs.
So you guys can help diagnose or just see what's going on.
So let's listen to some of the suggestions that people have given me. Melissa says pseudoephedrine, HCl, and ibuprofen.
Is the pseudo one the one that makes you kind of just all
build a desk?
Well, you guys don't understand, but Obi gets overly confident when he's on that stuff to where you're like, hey, I want to buy a new desk. But that one time he's like, well, why don't I just build one? And that's unnatural.
I don't think that way.
So the medicine gives you a bigger self of confidence that you can do a project or a little antsy.
Okay. My friend Justin says that the answer is cutting dairy out of your diet.
A lot of people say if you have allergies, take out dairy, you'll feel a lot better. That is pretty well known.
Okay, but here's my thing. How much dairy would be too much? Because I just want...
all dairy. They say you're supposed to take it all out because it leads to the congestion and the phlegm and the over making of all that stuff. But yeah, they say you should not have dairy.
I don't really have dairy as it is.
You'd be surprised.
You think so?
It's in everything. That water you have. No, just kidding. It's dairy.
Inside that thimble cup?
It's dairy.
Coated with dairy.
Now, I think people don't realize how often they are having dairy, but that might be something.
I mean, I suppose maybe butter, meaning sometimes I have butter, but I'm not anywhere eating a stick. Some people are.
What about your daily string cheese?
It's also not on there. Not a thing. I don't put creamer in my coffee. All right, let's see. Other people. My doctor recommended Flonase. I've been trying something like that. I swear it's worthless. So let's see. Somebody said I should get a septectomy.
What is that? Oh, an operation?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying is like, I feel like if I go to the ENT guy, he's going to be like, oh, yeah.
Well, you already had one. It's just seeing what's up with the one you have.
Okay, so let's see. Use a spork to dig your eyes out.
That is, let's leave that as the last resort.
Okay.
Maybe not first.
Let's see. Narita says take Claritin daily and then some Vicks Vapo Rub. And then David says do that, but then you also go ahead and get yourself an air purifier, which I've done.
He has that.
Spicy food. This person says Tammy says to mix horseradish and honey.
Yeah, but are we supposed to do this every day? It needs to be a bit more set up than that.
Oh, jeez. It's not, and I appreciate a lot of people are like, oh, you might have a sinus infection. It's not that.
Because there's always one.
I know what that's like. It's something else. And it takes hours for it to even out. And I took ibuprofen this morning even.
The joy of when you take your car in and you try to explain what's wrong and they can't duplicate it or see what's going on and they look at you like you're lying.
Yeah.
Or you just don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
When you go to the car or the doctor specialist, they won't be able to see anything. They'll just be like, oh, there's nothing wrong. You're fine.
You have the best sinuses we've ever seen.
What's wrong with you?
Would you be willing to be a sinus model?
They're going to make you feel, question everything.
Yeah.
Just question it all.
All right. I got enough doctors in my life, enough people looking into my head. The last thing I need is some doctors like, yeah, let's hammer around. What if okay, listen, have you ever seen a renovation show? We want to go in and have demo day. All right.
In your nose.
I feel like if we pull up this sinus, there's hardwood under there. Wouldn't that be amazing? What's your budget?
Well, just if you could, just go see him and see what he says.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the RIOT podcast.
Oh my gosh, Nikki, you didn't read it yet, but the article that you passed me is so good. It's so good.
Good in a bad way?
Yes.
Oh, I just thought, at least from the beginning of it, I thought, oh, well, that's kind of motivating, but I didn't read the rest of it.
Okay, so here we go. Lifehacker, a website that really has tumbled low.
Well, they what's the word? They recycle their articles too, and so they'll just bring these things back, and they just have filler. So it's a lot of life filler stories.
Whereas I feel like Lifehacker really used to have helpful things.
Yeah, but especially during the pandemic when no one was going to do anything, there was no hacking of life to do because everybody was at home. So they just they went real downhill fast.
Lifehacker's like 10 alternative songs to sing while washing your hands.
Yes, pretty much. That was it.
All right, so this article is gym selfies are good, actually. So the beginning of the article is how people don't like people taking gym selfies are those who take them self-obsessed, attention-starved, negatively affecting how you as a viewer feel about your body. Well, I'd like to propose a revolutionary alternative. Maybe people should take whatever pictures they want. Right there. Maybe people should take whatever pictures they want. That to me is somebody told this person to not take one.
Oh, and this is the whole article.
This whole article came from like, oh yeah? Well, maybe it's a free country, Dad.
Well, they say
maybe I can do whatever I want, Mom.
They say once you identify what bothers you about these selfies on your feed, you can make smart choices then. You can unfollow if you don't like someone who posts that a lot I see. Yeah, so this is really about someone overcoming this.
Other people's selfies are not about you. What?
I thought the article was about if you start a workout routine and stuff, you tend to get really into it, especially in the beginning, or if you go to a gym, you take a lot of pictures. And some people get annoyed about that. But I thought a lot of times they say that might actually keep you motivated if you are doing that. And then you find other people to follow who post those same pictures to, again, motivate you.
Okay. If I'm going to address this article seriously, here's what I think. One, I really don't I kind of don't care, but I also don't have any Fitspo people or whatever that I follow either.
Some.
So like that's not a thing. Now they're like, oh, maybe these are for YouTube channels. Hey, I can tell you right now that I absolutely have used YouTube to learn proper form when it comes to lifting. YouTube and mirrors. I've totally done that. But my personal thought is maybe not everybody is like this, but if I've got something in my life that I'm working on, one of the best things I can do is not talk to you about it. Like that's just for me. Like, hey, did you go to the gym? I'm not talking about it. Like, I'm just going to keep it to myself, whatever. But maybe other people.
Some people like it. And they were saying they talked about lift videos. You're just watching. It's a thing you can get into.
I can take selfies if I want to. That's what this article feels like.
Well, it isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be when I sent it to you, but that's fine.
No, that's what I love about it.
It's a bit personal for the author of the article.
Maybe people should take whatever pictures they want.
And you got to get over it.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on RadioU.
You're never, ever getting a PlayStation 5. It's never happening. So if you've been like, no, maybe this time I hear Target's nope. It's over.
Hudson and I talked about, I think it was yesterday, Sony had released their numbers of like how many PlayStation 5s they have sold.
It's selling very well.
Well, then they also showed that from like January to March, everybody expected the PlayStation to be the top seller, but really the Switch outsells it because there's no PlayStations to be bought. So they just go and buy a Switch.
They are leaving money on the table for sure. Not that they want to, but they have to because they can't manufacture them fast enough. In fact, later today, we might talk about it. I don't know. But like this whole global chip shortage, it's impacting
not potato chips. It's chips,
microchips, silicon.
So.
Like it's basically, if you got to go all the way down to find out that it's not the PlayStation they can't make enough of. It's the raw materials that go into the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. They can't make enough of those. And so that's where it's crazy. It's affecting so many industries. And in the middle of all of that, Sony just announced, hey, we're going to go to mainland China starting sometime in May.
So the PlayStation's not sold there yet?
Not yet.
Is other PlayStation items or is just not the 5?
It's just not the 5.
Gotcha.
So Sony sells.
How do they think they're going to have enough? Unless does the PlayStation does it not pull in the same numbers there?
I have no idea. I just know that they are about to add over 1 billion potential customers that will now also be trying to get the PlayStation 5. No one's getting anything ever.
It's all right. Don't give up. All right. I'm sure it'll be fine. They wouldn't just ignore all the people trying to still buy one here.
Just tape 2 PlayStation 4s together. Just tape them together. Like, that's...
No, you need to take a PlayStation 4 and then find one of the old, like, original...
A PS1?
Yeah, PS1 and put them together, and then here's the 5.
May 15th. Okay, that I wasn't sure when. May 15th is when that's going to launch.
In China?
Oh, yeah. Man, listen, maybe those... Nope, I'm not going to say it out loud.
Maybe they don't like it there. Maybe they don't want it. Maybe it doesn't sell and you don't have anything to worry about.
You know what, Nikki? You are a sweet kid.
Let's just think positive about it.
You're a sweet kid.
The PlayStation glass is half full, all right? It's not empty.
No,
not
Nikki,
completely empty.
The PlayStation glass is empty.
Does anybody still want one or did everybody get one already?
No, believe me. You know what? I feel bad almost, but
it's not a question for like the Reddit online world. I just mean like with you guys. Does everybody have one yet? Are we all good?
I have several friends that
who are still looking?
Very much would like to have one. Yes. So, and now they are facing a future where it's also sold in China. Goodbye, PlayStation.
Well, it's not goodbye. You never had it, so you never said hello.
Goodbye to my dreams.
We've done you a favor by selecting the best of the worst and compiling it all in one place. Riot Podcast RadioU.
Now, Nikki, transparency. I want to be completely honest here. I'm not a good friend or person.
Okay.
So
that's a bit harsh of a way to start this.
Well, the reason I just decided that I'd go ahead and put the conclusion that you'll reach when I'm done right out front.
So that everybody knows.
And that way you guys know that I know. That I'm not living in a world of illusion.
Sure.
Okay. It goes like this. I have a friend of mine who, for COVID, has, like, the whole pandemic has basically been working at home. Like, every once in a while has to go in for this vastly socially distanced meeting, but, and a couple of things here and there. And now they have just found out that starting in August,
they got to go back.
They have to go back.
Like full back?
Like every day.
That's what's hitting people.
And I want you to know that I'm calling them and I'm texting them. I'm leaving voicemails of me just going, do you want some commuting tips? I'm here to help.
We're here. We've been here the whole time. Well, you don't want to rub it in their noses.
Yes, I do.
Why?
I want to.
Doesn't mean you should.
I feel like, I don't know how I need to work it out, but I feel like for their first day back, I need to be there just outside.
Drive them in. Just drop them off like it's your first day at school.
Do you remember how to drive? Key goes here. Turn.
Aw, I see a lot.
Oh, is it a push button? Here. All right. Fob goes in pocket, push button.
Some of my favorite TikToks are the trends where they've got like the green screen beach behind them, like they're on vacation, and they're taking a call from their boss saying they have to come into work, and they're like, they've already moved. They've moved away. They're on vacation. Like, they can't go back. They're not ready.
I can't. I won't.
They can't go back into the office at all.
I just have been enjoying it.
So they're not even going to slowly ease them in, but like a few days a week, it's just completely all back.
We'll see.
But they have till August. That's plenty of time.
I don't disagree with you, but to them, they like
it's over.
The punishment that has been. And I love how they're like, oh, you know what? At first it was just so hard to work from home, but now I've gotten used to it. And I'm like, oh yeah, it was so hard.
And then everybody's like, my dog can't handle if I leave. They're so used to me being home.
You know what? And if this sounds mean, what did I tell you when we started?
That he's
I'm a
mean.
terrible person and I'm a bad friend. And I feel like the fact that, granted, when I had COVID, I had to quarantine. I was working from home then. But Nikki and Nikki especially,
I've been here the whole time.
Making that drive.
That's right. Well, I only live 5 minutes away, so it's not the worst.
All right. I live 35 minutes away, but still.
I'm not the best example, but, if you have to go back, just, try to be positive about it. You get to see people, get back into that. Everybody's going to be so stressed out. But don't tell the person that, okay? They have till August. It'll be okay.
I'm going to throw a going back to work party. A banner.
That's so mean.
Work.
You're going back.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on RadioU.
Always excited to spend some time with somebody who is new to us, and that would be one Jay Crum. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys?
We're doing good. Happy Friday to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, hey, if you guys are listening right now, you can actually watch the interview now or later on our Facebook page or on YouTube, because I have to ask about that microphone, man. Our
mics are just like smaller, but yours is like almost a soccer ball size thing. What is it?
Well, yeah. So I have an Audio Technica inside it. This is a Chaotica eyeball. And so it helps isolate. Yeah, it helps isolate sound. But like, if you can kind of see inside there, there's
it's really cool.
Yeah,
I'm telling you guys, it's a huge ball.
Yeah, that goes around the microphone. I thought the whole thing was the microphone, but you're just saying it covers around it.
Yeah. It helps. It helps. Soundproof and
Well,
anybody who has like a home studio should invest in one of these. Yeah.
Okay. I have a home studio. I'm going to look at that. That's cool. I just have one of these big puffy things at it.
I didn't think they could get bigger than the shields we have, which are, I guess, normal size, but we love the look of yours.
No way. He's got us beat with that thing.
Well, this is Jay Crum, part of RadioU Fusion, and of course, music video on RadioU TV. I just wanted to make the introduction for Monochrome Melancholy, which you've been hearing on RadioU.
So, Jay Crum, talk to us, man. Like, how long you been in the business?
Oh man. I have been rapping for around 15 years. But I had start like my first like release as far as like album was probably like 2016. So I've been pretty active since then.
Yeah, you've been around for a while. So like you're doing the hip hop thing, but then like you're not just an artist, you also run a studio.
Yeah. So I run a creative agency called Streetlight Sounds.
Okay.
And so out of there we do like mixing, mastering. We also do like graphic design, consultation for artists, press releases, stuff like that. Basically like label services for independent artists.
Oh, that's awesome. So they can come and then use the big microphone ball if they come and work with you on a song.
Yeah, if they wanted to, they can come and we'll get them right.
Listen, J. Crumb, that's an incentive. You need to really be focusing on that because that'll bring a lot of artists to interview. We don't have any of that here, so that'll bring them there.
Right. Yeah, Chaotica owes me some money. All this endorsement. I didn't even talk to them.
Yeah, we need to get something to work out for that.
It's real, dude. It's real.
Yeah.
So, like, as an artist yourself, like, you do most of that stuff in house. Like, how's that been going? Like, how has this year of pandemic and stuff been for J. Crumb?
Yeah, so it was. I knew early on that like, okay, this is going to be a little rough because like a lot of us artists, we lost touring, you know, and that's where I was making a bulk of like my income when it came to music was touring, you know, streaming, you know, it's just anybody who's making like real money from streaming is like, you're like major.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where it was like, okay, we need to kind of shift and figure out ways to, you know, survive this pandemic. And so that's kind of where I really doubled down and went hard for the creative agency. And so that's what kind of made me shift. And it's helped replace a lot of the income, but it's also helped build this community of artists, who lost the same thing, you know? And so we've all been able to kind of grow together, by shifting our focus onto more videos, shifting our focus onto creating content, engaging with our listeners online, which is a definite shift than doing it in person, as many people who are touring would do. So that's been kind of the shift that we've done through this pandemic.
Well, I appreciate hearing the chance to work with other, you know, like independent artists and others that are signed, but just a lot of times groups and artists don't like to work well with each other if it means like they feel like it's competition. And it's nice to hear that you're willing to work with them and help them grow and still be able to make a living so that they can make it through this.
Right. Absolutely. You know, I think when you look at people who are like the most successful, a lot of times it's not something that happened just with them by themselves. They realize that like there's room for all of us, you know, and they realize that, man, a win for you doesn't mean it's a loss for me.
Yeah. Come on, dude. Come on.
And so, I think I love working with people with that type of mindset. And, so it's been really cool lately. So
that's fantastic. So we've got the video on the song that we're playing, Monochrome Melancholy. Okay. Yeah. And then you also told me that you've been a pretty busy guy. You also put out an EP as like a side project. Why go side project?
Yeah. So I was in a really like weird creative space. Like I was having issues with like writing hip hop and writing like other genres of music. They're just different. And so, because with hip hop, especially the style that I use is very, very lyrical. There's double entendres. There's just a lot of stuff. And so, my style is very technical. And so I was hitting this really, bad, like writer's block. And, I had a friend that was like, hey, just maybe try doing like a different genre. And I used to be in a rock band like years and years and years ago. And so, just as like a thing to just create music to be fun. I wasn't planning on putting it out or anything like that. But I made a rock song. And I shared it with that friend, and he was like, "Yo, bro, like this is really good. Like you need to put this out." And I was like, I don't know, like it's not really my brand. It's not really like I'm not a rocker. Like that's not where I'm at right now. You know what I mean?
Or
it's such an exit from where. Right. You know?
Good point, Obi. Good point.
Yeah, it's such an exit from where I was at, but I don't know. It was one of those things that was like I'm independent. I don't have a label. Like, why not? Why not put it out? Like, why not? And so, there are no real rules. And I think I was just kind of overthinking it. I put it out, and I kind of was like, hey, this is kind of a detour from what I usually do. But like, I like it. It was fun. And it's some of my favorite music I've ever made, actually.
Aww.
So,
awesome.
Detours can be good.
Yeah.
They can be good.
The equivalent of someone's lint collection. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, I have an Oculus Quest 2.
You do? Yeah.
And a lot of people feel like when I bought that, he'll sell it at any moment.
It's because you would do that.
Well, the hilarious thing is, it's the second Oculus Quest 2 I've owned. I sold the first one and bought another one.
Sure.
Just insane.
But it's virtual reality headset. And
it is.
You do like it, but then I don't know if you get tired of it or there's just not as much to do with it.
Part of what I have noticed, especially this time around, is that my sinuses, like a lot of times maybe I don't think they hurt, but if I put anything on my face, it's like,
because it rests on it.
Hurt. Yes. So that has been something that's been, it's been a barrier to entry, as they say. But there are two things that I need you guys to know about all my accountability partners out there.
Did you sell it again?
Nope.
Okay,
no.
So you still have it.
No.
Are you going to?
No. What, Nikki? I'm so disappointed.
That I would think you would do that?
That you remember everything I do and think I'm just going to do that one more time.
Because it's a cycle.
It is a cycle. Well, you know what? We're still on the up part of the wheel.
Okay. We're not ready to go back around.
Yesterday, they released Pinball.
Yeah.
For it.
You love pinball games.
I know.
And?
I haven't done it yet, but I feel like it's going to happen.
So do you feel like you're at a pinball machine, or do you feel like you're pinball machine?
There's all kinds of stuff that you can do.
So like
you can stand at a pinball machine. You can also stand on the bumpers.
Can you be the ball?
You can't be the ball. That would be cool.
That would be talk about motion sickness right there.
Right. But no, you can stand down on the table while the game is going on. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Obi likes to get, I don't know if you played it in a while, but he would get boards for pinball games. So you can have one
and it's
for
that company.
Yeah, for The Mandalorian, or you can have this, you can have that, and they would all have their own pinball boards.
This launches with The Mandalorian.
Oh, it does? Just guessed on that one.
Well, because I played on my phone for a while, and I had Avengers pinball, Aliens pinball, all this different stuff. And so, so they're launching with that. That launched yesterday.
And you got them?
Then, no, not yet. I've just been do I really want to spend the money?
Oh, why do you question the thing you would like the most?
I know. So there's that. But then also, no, I don't know if this is going to happen. You remember my friend Wes?
Yeah.
He just got a Quest 2.
He did. Can you guys play pinball together?
No, it's better.
Uh-oh. Are you going to watch a movie together?
Arizona Sunshine, which is the zombie shooting one.
Yeah.
There are many, but that's one of them.
It's a game.
He and I are going to get that. And if everything goes according to plan, and now that I'm telling you all, it won't, he and I are going to get together tonight and play co-op Arizona Sunshine.
Little zombie gameplay?
We're going to set up a huge play space.
Oh, my gosh. So he's not coming over, though, right? Is he going to do it? He is? He doesn't have to?
I know. Don't tell him that.
Is he really excited to come over? You don't want to ruin it.
The two of us had this conversation last night, and I was just like, oh, my gosh, it's happening. You having
a friend come over, Obi?
I'm having a friend over. We're getting pizza.
That's
and
right.
We're playing video games.
Oh, my gosh, it's the perfect night. Bring some snacks. We have so many Little Debbies here from the fundraiser. Maybe take a couple Little Debbies.
Take some home just for fun.
That's exactly how you think Obi lives every night.
I know.
But tonight's the actual night.
It's going to be so cool.
Is it a sleepover too?
Yes.
Is Wes going to stay over?
Well, he lives kind of far away. So, I mean, is it actually going to happen? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not.
Well, aren't you going to have a fun night?
But yeah, so I think he's like, his mom got him a new sleeping bag, and I think he's bringing that, but I don't know.
Oh no, you're a grown up now. You got air mattresses.
No, I just got a guest room. Just shove him in there.
Oh, well, okay. Tonight sounds fun. So you have a good time. Wes, if you're listening, you have a good time too. Enjoy the sleepover.
I feel great about
some sodas.
I feel great about a lot of my life choices until I come in here and tell you, and then I'm like, oh,
now this sounds fun. Who wouldn't want that? I mean, you could add in your own things. Like if you don't like the zombie game, put in your own thing. But it sounds like a fun night.
Did you guys watch the recap of the NFL draft? Whatever.
All right. Some of you guys are having a sleepover with that tonight.
Yeah. Have a good time.
Well, Gary says so happy for you, Obadiah.
I hope it works out. Right.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Okay, Nikki. So we had a big streaming weekend last weekend.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff to watch.
Because there was Mortal Kombat. For me, there was For All Mankind.
Shadow and Bone. And
what was the other thing? It was The Falcon and Winter Soldier.
The finale for it.
Right, the finale for that. So we go into this weekend and it feels a little sparse, except that it's not. Did you know? You're not going to care, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Without Remorse.
No. Actually, I don't know what that is.
It is. Well, it's the new.
Say it's not. So is that out?
Michael B. Jordan. You know, the actor that played Creed.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, it's him. It's an Amazon Prime movie.
Yeah.
And as far as I know,
it's Tom Clancy.
It's a full-blown theatrical movie, but they're releasing it on Amazon Prime. So it's one of those that they bought. It is Tom Clancy, and I have read the book Without Remorse, and I'll tell you what, this movie looks like it has almost nothing to do with the book.
Maybe people will like it more.
I mean, I could be wrong. The John Clark character is great, and I think Michael B. Jordan is great. So I'm all about that joining together, but they obviously have adapted it quite a bit. But, they did the same thing with Jack Ryan. So what would be really cool is if we could get a Jack Ryan, John Clark crossover there.
Don't look at the reviews because for some reason people don't like it. So
not reviewing well.
Not reviewing well. It's reviewing so unwell that it seems like it's on purpose.
Like they're review bombing it. Like it's one of those things. Yeah, it seems like a bad review bomb, and it exploded all over the movie. Well, here, let's take a look. What do we got? 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't think that is that bad.
No.
43. I mean, I've seen so much worse.
No, I was just looking at the couple of reviews on Amazon for it.
Yeah. They say that the character as portrayed doesn't give him any contours to play. That book, unless I'm getting, no, that's not right. He's in Rainbow Six, but the Without Remorse book was so interesting because part of it is about how he finds this woman who's a drug addict and he helps her and he basically rehabs her. And I mean, it's on and on and on, all these different things that happen. Mm-hmm. Plus he get tons of stuff.
A lot
maybe that's in there. So I just know that I don't think I've ever had anything. Well, not anything, but it's seldom that I go, oh, there's something new on Amazon Prime I want to watch.
That you want to see it? It's been a while for that.
That doesn't pop up very often.
Is that all that's this weekend? I don't feel like then that's a lot. Well, you know what? Just think of it as a catching up weekend if you didn't watch everything from the previous ones.
The people at Amazon are not happy to hear that, Nikki.
I know that, but they understand. I'll still order something from this weekend. They're fine.
You know what?
They still get my money. They don't care.
I don't think there's anything else big and new this weekend. And here come the text messages probably to tell us how wrong they are.
No, I think you're actually right. So take it easy this weekend, catch up on some old things, and clean out the queue. It's a clean out weekend.
I think I'm gonna watch it. Probably, maybe, I don't know.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, I take my job as an influencer very seriously. The amount of money that I've just spent on photo shoots alone. Listen, you can't do your own selfies. I take the selfie, but I got to have somebody to light it.
Well, you need someone to complete the look, to finish it.
I mean, are you serious or not? Are we doing this or not?
Is this your job? Because you got to treat it like it is.
So I'm looking at Miranda Parker. I don't know. She's from Michigan. She's an influencer. Just to be clear, it doesn't take anything to be an influencer. You can just call yourself that.
And it doesn't like mean how successful you are at it.
Look at me. I'm an influencer. Woo! I got a friend to eat pizza last night. Look at that. That's influence.
That's influence.
That's influence. You can't buy power like that.
Well, what is she doing?
Well, all right. Like she's making this big splash online because she's going gray.
Yeah.
She's 41 and she says she's finally.
Her hair is going gray?
Yes. She's just letting it go gray. She's tired of taking care of her hair.
Sure.
That's not the part that gets me. That right there is a trend that I'm seeing from people.
No, you don't call it gray, though. You just say your hair, you made it silver.
Whatever. So the thing that gets me is that she says that she started going gray in her mid-20s.
Some people can.
Hey, I know somebody that used to work here who's like gray at 18. You know who I'm talking about.
Yes, that's right.
I mean, like,
I do remember.
His hair turned gray like overnight. It was like, what the heck?
Happened?
Did you stick your finger in a light socket or what?
I guess everybody's bodies are different.
They are. So she says, this is the part that gets me. She says that in the back half of her 20s, like from 25 to 30.
When she started to go gray?
She spent $21,000 in those
hair.
years.
Yeah.
Keeping her hair her natural color or whatever.
It's very expensive to color your hair.
$21,000.
Very expensive. We don't want to do the math.
What?
You don't want to know. Especially if you're coloring it like blonde. That's the worst. Just the worst.
Well, yeah, because if you want it blonde, well,
it's just very hard.
let me put it to you this way.
It's very damaging.
And if you have dark hair, forget about it. If you have blonde hair, you can be whatever you want. But if you have dark hair, they got to bleach your blonde. Then they got to make it something else.
That's why when I meet someone who's a natural blonde, I'm like, oh my gosh, you were kissed in the heavens. How did you manage that? I wish.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, I can imagine then, yeah, she'd spend that much money on it.
All right. I don't have a lot to say about this other than holy crap.
Well, and also you were very fortunate. Your mom's a hairdresser. So growing up, your mom probably just always did your hair. You didn't know the cost associated with it.
Well, Nikki, I'll tell you, I got a haircut a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
$17.
That is shocking. You know, that's not even the tip. Like for most people doing their hair.
I tipped more than that. But that was the base cost.
How much is your shampoo? Like your shampoo must be inexpensive too.
Well, okay.
Is it the all-in-one body thing? Is it? It is. Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous.
I just take the top and squeeze it out on the top
shampoo
of my head.
is your body
and
wash.
then just let it run down my body.
So you don't even have a separate shampoo and conditioner? It's just all the one?
What's conditioner?
Well, you use that.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
You understand how lucky you are?
I guess, right? I guess. So, man, you know what? Just be you. I know that's
not. No.
I know. You know what we should do? I'm telling you right now.
I don't want to be a brunette. I don't want to be.
What's wrong with being a brunette?
I don't want to be that. I did not like that. That was a mistake. And so I just need to change it on my own.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh my gosh. You know what? It's your hair. Do what you want.
There you go.
This is like legit. This is actually what I want to say. If you want to do that, do it. But I just hate the idea of feeling pressured to do something if you don't want to.
Sure.
So like, if you don't want to color your hair, don't. If you want to, have a great time.
Enjoy it. It's going to cost some money, but enjoy the time.
More than I can afford.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on RadioU.
For somebody who's railing against social media like I am, here's a social media story-ish. So this is crazy. Remember when Lady Gaga's dogs got kidnapped?
Well, the dogs, like, was it 2 out of the 3 or 3 out of the 4 got taken? And then, more importantly, like, the dog walker got shot quite a few times. And he was out walking them while I think she was out of the country doing something.
Yeah, so dog walker gets shot. Lady Gaga's dogs get dognapped.
And then she issued a huge reward, and then people kind of got mad because it was like, you know, compared to the dog walker who was in the hospital, which I'm sure she was taking care of as well. But she was very concerned, issued a huge reward, and the dogs were eventually a few days later returned.
And lo and behold, the truth is out now. So let's keep in mind that everything we're going to say here involves the word alleged. But or once they actually charge you, is the word alleged?
I don't know, but I mean, this is who they think it is.
Okay, so the lady that returned the dogs was allegedly in on it the entire time.
And everybody wondered that when this person turned the dogs in. They're like, oh, I wonder if this person was a part of the whole plan all along because of the huge reward that was offered.
Yeah.
Because they kept saying no questions. Like they weren't going to ask any questions about it. You could just bring the dogs back.
So, man, do you think that was all part of the sting? Or they were no questions. Okay, one question.
What's your full name, details, all that stuff? Because, I doubt the person ended up getting any of that money.
So yesterday, it was 4 men, 1 woman, being her. They were all in it together. This plot to kidnap Lady Gaga's dogs and hold them for ransom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on the surface, this is a plan that seems to work, but I got to tell you, shooting the guy that's like, what are you doing? Yeah.
So I guess, I don't know if anybody had said this, but so they did know who the dogs were, or it's just because at first they were just taking the dogs because these type of dogs are very expensive. You could sell these dogs for a lot of money, but did they know they were Lady Gaga's dogs? And that I think people didn't realize.
Oh, okay. So then I misunderstood this then. I was thinking that they knew.
Back then, they didn't know if it was just a case of they were just stealing these dogs, because that is something that's really popular to do. People will, like if your dog's out in the yard and you have a fence, they'll walk up to the fence. They can try to take the dog.
Okay.
They'll try to sell them. So everybody wondered, these people, did they take these dogs just because they were expensive looking dogs, or did they know it was hers? Because they weren't asking for a ransom, just money was being offered to return them back.
Okay, don't know the answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that may be true. Maybe it was just a matter of stealing them, but I just find, I guess, no. So the lady, she has been released.
Yeah.
She's got an ankle monitor on at home because she's on insulin. So she says, hey, I'm not able to get my medicine. I need to get home. And the judge allowed her to go.
Stay home.
Yeah. But
oh my gosh, you get to, instead of work from home, it's
jail from home.
Jail from home.
Wow, look at you. So you got to ask, though, like with Lady Gaga out there saying no questions, you get the money. She returned the dogs. Even though she's being charged criminally, do you think she still gets the money?
I don't think she does.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Well, Lady Gaga's just a big liar then.
I bet there's a lot of fine print on the reward being offered, and we just didn't see it.
I'm sure that's true.
Oh, yeah, you're not getting the money. If you were a part of the plan to take him the whole time, no.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
I'm in the middle of slicing cheese, and it's like, blah! The thing breaks off. There's cheese everywhere. I'm screaming because I'm scared.